Welcome back to Scotting Movies. We're talking about a comedy today from the mind of Neil Simon. Uh, you've probably seen or read some of his plays. In this case, it's a movie based on his play called Biloxi Blues. Uh, it's the excuse me. He wrote his own adaptation for this, so he got to control the screenplay. So it's very similar uh, to his play. If you're a fan of witty dialogue, heartfelt coming of age stories, and Christopher Walken doing Christopher Walken things, stick around because we're going to talk about it. And let me break it down for anyone who hasn't seen it. Biloxi Blues follows Eugene Jerome, played by Matthew Broderick, right after Ferris Bueller, as he heads to boot camp in Biloxi, Mississippi during World War II. It's not a typical war movie because we don't have any actual battle scenes. It's all takes place in the boot camp. We get sharply written character studies of young men navigating military life, clashing with the tough as nails drill instructor played by Christopher Walken, and learning a thing or two about growing up and about women and about how other people deal with certain things. Along the way, meets that colorful cast of characters, even experiences his first brush with romance. So, first of all, let's touch on Neil Simon. He had a way with words. He was really sharp witted. He knew how to write well, especially dialogue. They felt like real conversations full of all of that wit and timing and the kind of universal truths that make you laugh, nod in agreement, maybe even wince in recognition every now and then. It has some great lines. I In high school I performed in Brighton Beach Memoirs, which is the prequel to this the story. And I actually played Eugene Jerome in that production, in that play. And I can say firsthand how naturally Neil Simon's dialogue flows. It was so easy to learn because it just sounded natural. It was what someone would say in the situation if they had someone writing their 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 lines for them, because it's such beautiful written language that had its own kind of tone and rhythm to it, almost like a Shakespeare for a modern age. And so, and the movie crackles by that same kind of um, that same kind of wit and timing and just beautiful dialogue. Everything just works. So Matthew Broderick shines in this role. He's right off of, like I said, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He brings that boyish curiosity, that signature charm to the part. He has narration throughout the film. It's a constant delight listening to Matthew Broderick play this part, both in a narration role as well as when he's on screen speaking. Um, he nails every bit of that signature humor and timing and wit. But what really makes the movie stand out are the characters that Eugene meets at camp. There's Arnold Epstein, who's played by Corey Parker. He's this intellectual, stubborn Jewish recruit who refuses to bow to authority. He's a fantastic contrast to the more conformist group of soldiers. He brings a lot of heart to the story. There's Christopher Walken, as I've mentioned before, who plays Sergeant Toomey, the drill sergeant, and he's just electrifying in this role. He's intense, he's unpredictable, he's downright terrifying at times, and he finds this nuance in the character. You get a sense that his harshness in this movie is it comes from a place of genuine belief in the importance of discipline. He's not a bad person. He's not a bad guy. He's a good person that believes in authority, believes in discipline, and he's going to go about it in some unconventional, sometimes humorous methods. Um, and that's just different than a lot of other characters that have played, a lot of other actors that have played characters of drill sergeants, because you usually get that either black or white kind of character. Usually the more disciplined and more harsh and almost villainous kind of drill sergeant that you get here. And you don't get that with Christopher Walken, who brings that signature Christopher Walkenness to the role, but he also brings this nuance and humanity to it that you wouldn't expect coming in a movie like this, and it's because once again the words, the dialogue, the story is written so well that Christopher Walken had to just take his talent and play it. So some of the best moments in Biloxi Blues are the verbal sparring matches between Toomey, played by Walken, and all of the recruits. The way he chews through that dialogue is just pure gold. One moment he's barking orders, the next moment he's delivering some dry, darkly funny one-liner that leaves you stunned. Um, it isn't just about military life; it's also about Eugene's personal growth. Uh, there's scenes of romance between him and Penelope Ann Miller's character, um, that are genuinely sweet and romantic. There's this nervous energy and young love between them, uh, that feel just so authentic. You root for them. You find yourself smiling once again during the beautifully written dialogue scenes between the two. It has a lot of heart. These moments add a lot of warmth to a film that balances out the more intense and satirical boot camp scenes. And you want to see more of it. You want to see more of Matthew Broderick and Penelope Ann Miller because they bring such warmth and youthful energy to the film. It's a wonderful reminder. The film is that. A great film doesn't need explosive action. It doesn't need battle scenes if you're in a war movie. It doesn't need these massive set pieces or CGI to keep you hooked. It has a sharp script. It has brilliant performances, a lot of heart. It stands out as one of the best coming of age stories of its era. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend giving it a watch. So, time for a grade. Again, I've talked about a lot of the great things for this film. Uh, really great dialogue, memorable characters, really good performances by Matthew Broderick and Corey Parker and Christopher Walken and Penelope Ann Miller. I'm giving it an A, a solid A. It's heartfelt, it's hilarious, it's surprisingly moving. Uh, it deserves a spot on your watch list. So that's it for Scotty Movies today. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this review, subscribe, like, share it. If you haven't seen Biloxi Blues, give it a watch. Let me know what you think. If you have seen it and you're like, no, that's an awful review. Tell me what you think, or if you agree with every word I say, let me know. I like to know how I'm coming off with all you people. So. I enjoy interacting with you all. So let me know what movie I should review next. I have a lineup that I'm following, but if you want me to review something, I'll take some time out of this lineup and review that film or review that character, review that TV series, even whatever you want me to do. I'll look at it. Do you love these movies? Do you hate them? Drop a comment. Let's chat about it. Thanks, everyone.